Good morning, good morning. Welcome to our Talks to Anthony. Today we're going to have a simple conversation. For those that are new to the channel, we have mental health conversations and content that's going to be beneficial to your personal development in addition to your well-being. However, in today's conversation, we're going to be talking about maintaining an active lifestyle for mental health, right? The mind and body connection. I want to be able to highlight that movement is not just about the fitness, but it's also one of the most powerful tools we can have for our mental health and our well-being. So I want to be able to make sure we recognize that, like I said, that regular physical activity can really support our mental health. So if possible, this is not just for kids, it's not just for teens, it's for anybody else out there, right? So we're gonna be able to improve ourselves, our wellness, our health, our mental health, right? So stick with me, grow with me. We're gonna navigate throughout this video, right? So off the rip, right, your brain and your body are on the same team. So we have to be able to consider when it comes to research provides that physical activity directly influences brain chemistry, stress regulation, and emotional balance, right? So this is something that's really going to benefit our well-being significantly, and also by the World Health Organization and APA identity movement as a key of protective factor for mental health across the lifespan. So as we're navigating through that resilience, problems are coming our way. Life is not what Candyland. Life's not going to be sweet all the time. So we got to be able to have a system, a support system, and self-care is going to be something that's going to be help with that. But also at the same time too, we're talking about a little bit of that exercise is going to be able to help us in different aspects of our lives, right? So let's dive into our first segment, how physical activity supports mental health, right? So first key concept, we're going to talk about that mood boost, right? So exercise increases the endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin chemicals that are linked to happiness and emotional stability, right? So this is going to be able to impact our mood, make us feel better, make us feel more neutral, make us feel more happier if possible, and even that emotional regulation as tough challenges come our way. Next, we're going to be talking about that reduced anxiety and depression, right? So people out there with that exposure to that, regular movement, just getting yourself movement around is something that's going to be associated with lower symptoms of anxiety and that depression in teens, right? And stress regulation, right? We don't like stress. We don't like being torn from the floor. We don't like burnout, right? So physical activity lowers cortisol, which helps the body return back to that calm state more quickly after stress, right? So this is going to help us that out in regards to that. And those out there that have issues with sleep, right? Better sleep is something that's going to be improved, right? So teens who are physically active report improved sleep quality, which strongly impacts that mood and that focus, right? So we need that with regards to those out there that are teenagers going to school. How are you expected to really focus on what's going on as you're being lectured by your teacher and as she's providing information to you when you can't even focus thoroughly because you ain't got that sleep, right? So get yourself that sleep. Do physical activity, sports, extracurriculum, stuff like that's going to be able to help you get right. And these are just some foundational things that are going to be able to help your mood, how you feel, regulate, and at the same time to improve that sleep. Next segment, we're going to be talking about understanding your body's needs, right? So we got to take in consideration everybody's body's different off rip, but let's talk about some concepts in regards to some research too, right? So no one size fits all, so we got to take in consideration that mental health benefits all of us. However, movement is something that we're going to be talking about today. So we're talking about walking, sports, dancing, stretching, do whatever suits you, of your interest, right? So like I said, no one size fits all. So do something that's beneficial to you, that you truly enjoy, right? Next is going to be teen brain development, right? So when it comes to movement, supports attention, emotional regulation, and decision making, especially in this key in regards to brain development years for teenagers, for instance, because we got to be able to have that, so we're able to know how to move and deal with situations as they arise. Specifically because I gotta be real, I gotta be transparent. Our decisions that we make when we're young in our kid-like teenage years definitely can have our impact on our future as an adult, right? So we gotta be conscientious about the development. We have to be moving a little bit more discerning and purposeful. Next, we're gonna be talking about energy and not exhaustion, right? So moderate and consistent activity, right? When we have that discipline, we have that consistency, things are gonna get better and also more beneficial than more extreme workouts, for instance, right? So it's not about doing too much, doing the most, and just trying to, just be consistent. The little things matter, right? So moderate energy, is going to be more beneficial as you're steady rather than just doing too much, right? So you don't got to be doing too much, being too extreme with it, but as you're being consistent, this is what your body is going to need. It's going to be able to help you regulate and improve in various aspects of your life, right? Next segment, when we're talking about building an active lifestyle that feels doable, right? So we want to make it more manageable. We want to make it more manageable, and like I said, start small so we're able to get those benefits, but also at the same time to not feel overwhelmed, not feel stressed out, not even feel like deprived. I didn't want to even attempt this because it's doing too much, right? So start small, like I said. As little as even 10 to 15 minutes of movement improves your mood and that motivation, right? And the more you do it, the more you keep the motivation thing around you, the more you keep talking to yourself and you know what I mean, giving yourself the affirmations. Today I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna just try my best. And once you get into the groove, you know what I mean, and you just speak that positivity of your life, things will get better, I'm telling you. But we have to be consistent, we got to be kind to ourselves, we got to have that self-compassion, you heard? Next, we're going to be talking about that consistency over that intensity. Like I said, we have to relax ourselves, right? So regular activity reminds us as well that the more that you push, the less that you're probably going to want to do it, right? But try your best to make it regular in regards to that consistency, that discipline, and it's going to be able to help you to kind of navigate through days that you don't want to be there, but at the same time too, you're going to see yourself pushing yourself through, because there's days where you didn't want to go there, but you went there and you've seen the difference, you've seen the changes, right? So I'm letting you know when it comes to consistency, it's something that you may not want to do, but you'll thank yourself and your future self will be blessing you later. You feel me? So try and get that consistency over the intensity, make it manageable for yourself. Next, we're going to be talking about make it enjoyable, right? So you want to be able to, like I said, speak of your life in regards to affirmations, positivity with that mindset. But like I said, make this activity more enjoyable so you're able to have that long-term success, right? So when you're doing something that you enjoy, you're going to come back to it, right? Next, we're going to be talking about that movement counts everywhere, right? So when you're doing the walking, right, you're doing stretches when you're waking up, or, you know what I mean, before you go to bed. Active hobbies is something like that you enjoy, right? So some people might do recreational baseball. I remember back in the days in the spring, I used to go to like this local baseball, like this field. I used to see like older folks doing their thing, right? There's basketball, you got the hoops around, right? Yoga, like make your own personal investment. Whatever you like doing, that's active, do what you got to do. And if money's tight, take a walk around the block, you know what I mean? Do what you got to do to get your steps in, but try your best to do what's best for you. But like I said, at least 10 to 15 minutes really could bless somebody, right? So I'm telling those out there that are usually the couch potatoes, or usually not motivated, or usually, you know what I mean, usually just having like those self-sabotaging thoughts, like try to at least attempt, like try, you know what I mean? Effort is really something that's really going to push you through. And like we talked about today, understanding your needs, but at the same time too, and doing what feels right for you, doing what's doable for you, right? You want to make things manageable for you to able to, you know what I mean, persevere through. Next, we're going to be talking about movement as emotional support, right? So how else is going to be able to help us in our emotions? Some people out there that are difficult with their emotions, that don't know how to talk or express themselves. How can this really help, right? So exercise as coping, right? So physical activity helps manage that anger, that stress, and emotional overload, right? So this is going to be able to help us, right, really, you know what I mean, put this in a productive way rather than taking it on someone else, or even doing something that can, cause us to be in a situation that we don't want to be in, right? So we got to really be able to think about ways we can cope, and this will be able to help that in other ways. Once again, anger, stress, and emotional overload when we're just taught from the floor. Next is confidence and self-advocacy, right? So meeting small movements when we're doing certain things like that really can help us boost our self-esteem and our resilience, right? So when we're just working on ourselves, we're feeling good, we're getting the sweats out, you're right? Our body's feeling good, our body's feeling a little different from, the usual, right? So this is gonna be able to help our self-esteem. When you feel good, you look good, you're able to exude that energy out, that positive energy out, and you're able to make better interactions. So I really want us to take that in consideration. Next is gonna be social movement helps, right? So team sports, active groups, combine that social connection with the mental health benefits, right? So as you mentioned too, like for those out there that are going to school, try your best, get yourself into a hobby, get yourself into a sport perhaps. If not, then get yourself a little gym membership, do what's best for you. But like I said, the consistency, the proactiveness with your effort, right? Really doing these physical activities. We talked about stretching too, right? We talked about walking, right? We talked about getting yourself into different groups. But overall, sports is something that's really going to help us in regards to our mental health. So, and even that social connection. But moving forward in regards to our fifth segment, we're going to be talking about when staying active feels hard, right? Right, so we have days where we're gonna have that low motivation, right? So low motivation is normal. We gotta take that in consideration. Mental health challenges often reduce energy, and movement can help restart the cycle, right? So when we're having a bad day, we went through a lot, which is a brain overload. We have a lot of things going on. The last thing we really want to do is just getting active, but little do you know, this can actually be able to help us restart and get our mind refreshed. So taking that walk, going to the gym, clearing your mind, breaking all that negativity of all those projections and microaggressions that were just put upon you within your day. I'm telling you right now, from a black man himself, you can get through this. It's your life, is what you make of it, but you got to really be able to have the system that's down packed for you, and that's going to take care of your mental health. So I'm letting you know right now, right, the days when we have low motivation, but trying your best to get out of that funk and getting active is going to be able to help you as well. Next is gentle movement still counts, right? So like I said, the stretching, the walking, the deep breathing, the movement, right, supports our mental health. So doing whatever's going to help us regulate our emotions, regulate our mind, regulate the body, is we're giving ourselves that connection. So I really want us to take that in consideration. The little things matter, right? Next is going to be progress, not the what? Perfection. We don't worry about being too perfect. We don't got to be worrying about, right, being perfect. We just got to worry about what? The progress, right? Worry about the little steps, worry about our effort, worry about what we got to do, right? Not worrying about what other people got going on, but having that self-compassion to be able to help us navigate through these situations, to be able to help us have healthier habits, right? So I really want us to focus on our progress and not worrying about the aftermath. Just let things snatch as they come. Next is going to be the support matters, right? So try your best to encourage yourself. Let's start there, right? We got to be able to love ourselves, have that self-compassion, speak positive over our life, put that effort in, put that consistency in, have like a plan, have an agenda book, track our growth, track our progress, right? Allow ourselves to know that, we want our goals, we want to have our body look a certain type of way, for instance, right? But at the same time, too, it starts right now, starts today. The little things that we do today add into the big picture later, right? We don't know what we're going to look like 6 months from now. We don't know what life's going to look like 8 months from now, right? But all we can do is control what's on our plate, what's in front of us in the now, right? So being present is really something I really want us to take in consideration. But pulling it back to that support matters is encouraging peers, other adults, to be able to increase the active levels of our emotional well-being. So staying connected with other people, having an accountability partner is great, but like I said, keeping yourself accountable and that self-love is something that I want us to take in consideration, right? But wrapping up this video, I really want us to take in consideration that caring for your mind means more than just your body, right? So like I said, it's not just about the exercise, but it's something that's going to also help our mental health as well, in addition to our health, right? So you don't need to be an athlete to benefit from the movement. Like I said, you could just keep showing up for yourself and have that consistency. It's something that's really going to help you down the line, right? So I want your health to be good. I want your mental health to be good. Keep thriving with me. Keep talking with me, and we're going to get better as we navigate through this. However, if you found that this video was beneficial, give it a thumbs up, share if possible, take it easy, stay blessed.